Arrendor is on the brink of upheaval. For centuries, the clan struggled against giants until 400 years ago, when dragons crossed the Great Sea, forcing them to unite and build the 10 Bastions. As the threat faded, the clans fractured into the 10 Kingdoms, and all but the last Bastion were abandoned. As ancient calamities stir and darkness rises in the east, my 4 champions must rise up to unite the kingdoms, restore the Bastions, uncover their secrets, and stand against this darkness as a declaration of war.
Calagon Dör. I will discover the secrets of my lineage and cement my legacy as one of the greatest adventurers of all time.
Please steer in here. The migration of the dragons forced the migration of peoples and beasts, which brings death. We're all invasive species now. I won't let us become extinct ones.
The name's Rodrick Elwood, the voice of this generation, and the greatest performer in war. Oh, and you should see me with a bow.
And I, Arlyn Dursalai, searching for my father's sword Trident, to bring justice to these lands. Together, we are the 4 Horsemen.
And this is Divine Inspiration.
Welcome back. I'm just watching these guys out here trying to see which one's gonna get me. Welcome back, guys. So, praise God, back for another exciting week. It's been a fun time here for everybody. So I'm just so happy that you guys get to join us for yet another grand adventure. So gather around, get cozy, and enjoy as we get to tell the exciting stories of the 4 Horsemen. Now, last we left off, after a myriad of chaotic adventures throughout this goblin city, Cala-Gone, at that time played by Manny, wished specifically, I wish me and my companions and all of our familiars were outside the encampment in safety with all of our inventories. After concentrating and asking yet again, with slight wording change admittedly, they were able to find themselves outside of the Goblin City, within the desert sands, able to hear and see now the chaos within, just peeking over the Goblin City walls. Here with all of their friends, their companions, as they had requested, they found that they had released an even larger flung than what they had once known. Not only did they see him immediately quite large, but they decided to give him a potion that would continue to grow his size further and further until he was able to split into many smaller oozes. And so while he went off toward the Goblin City at their behest, they started questioning some of their allies here. They wished away the old presumed ambassador and found that he was sent back inside to the Goblin City. They questioned Gene Canito, the archaeologist, on his motives. And they found out that his goal is simply to continue learning about times past. But that's not all they found out about him. As when Arlyn, for the first time, used his draconic sense, he was able to see that not only did the 4 Horsemen house some sort of draconic power, but Gene Canito is no different. So, as they continued on, venturing further and further from these gates, they also got to learn a lot about the orcs. They got to learn that the orc Nindal that travels with them is an ally of Rumgar's father, or his late father, I should say. They also learned that amidst the trades within Gracht, some of which included the corpses of dragons for the purpose of learning more and creating potions, there was another layer to this market where seemingly the orcs had been buying and selling goods from people outside of their territory, with different goblins, with different humans, and others who aren't quite sanctioned to be receiving those things. And so, after threatening Felgren, questioning the others, and just doing their best to converse with this now much, much larger party, they decided they would split their own party, where Cleave turned into a very large sandwalker using their final potion of gigantification, and took many of them with him, specifically including the archaeologist, Felgren, Rumgar, Arlyn, and Rodrick. Whereas Cala-Gone so nobly volunteered himself to stay in the desert sands for yet another day in this long, long journey alongside Jeff, 2, 3, Osmanthus, and Nindal. And so, as they brew their own potions and Cala-Gone sits buried neck deep in the sands, he was finally able to see Barry again, who immediately showed him that the presumed ambassador, this older gentleman, had been captured by Coltron the orc, and now is held prisoner on one of their sand gliders, slowly making pace toward where Cala-Gone currently is. And so, sending him off while the others make camp just outside of Rudon, trying their best, Arlyn especially, to convince sorry, forgive me, I almost said the ambassador. Yeah, the archaeologist, to join them instead. Cala-Gone now finds himself alone as Barry now flies off to meet them. And so, as you see these visions, you can tell that they are quite far away still, as you guys did travel quite a bit until the end of the day. But it's certainly a worrying sight, as now Nindal and Osmanthus have quieted and are keeping to themselves, trying not to make any noise. You don't see any sign of firelight over the dunes where you know them to be.
I'm gonna get out of the sand, and as I watch Barry go, I'm gonna run over towards where I knew them to be, Oz and Nindal. Guys, where are you? I can't see.
As you slowly make your way up, they're kind of blurred, but you can hear, it's like low whispers as they start to pipe up, and you just hear, "Come, we're just below."
I'm gonna hop down wherever they are. Listen, guys, Barry came back. He saw that we're being followed by a large group, and I mean, we're pretty far away, but I would like to get going if that's possible. You guys ready?
Do you not remember the whole talk about the giant spiders rolling down the hills and stuff?
I don't know. Spiders or an army of goblins. There's nothing we can do. What have you guys been working on this whole time?
Surviving. The goal isn't to try to amass some way of defeating an entire city. The goal is to survive.
Do you know these spiders? You've been around them. You've seen them. Are you familiar with them?
I try my best to avoid them.
Well, do you know if they try to avoid other things? Is there something they don't like? Is there a smell? Is there a monster?
I mean, spiders are spiders no matter the size, right? So I mean, in theory, they're hiding underneath the sands for good reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not seeing anything flying around these parts. There's pretty much nothing around here. What do you expect to grab up?
I don't know. I just don't feel right staying here. It looked like they weren't going very fast, but it was just from the vision that I saw from Barry. You guys don't have any potions or anything on you that can maybe help us in some way?
Potions? I don't have my kit, my shop with me. What am I supposed to do?
Nindal? No? Nothing?
As much as I'd love to say that I had something, this is about all I've got thus far, and it's just good enough to keep us alive through the night.
Well, you know them. You know, you've been around. You've seen them. How fast can they traverse through the desert? Should we be worried? Should I just...
Depends on the vehicle, I suppose. How are they traveling?
They had a giant sled. It looked like, and I mean there's a lot of them.
They're likely just faster than how we've been traveling. Still could take some time to get to us, but we're also just I guess 5 creatures if you count, or 6 now with the Sandwalkers. Huh.
Sandwalkers.
Still, what are the odds they find us in the middle of a desert?
What if... This isn't good. They know where we are. They're coming straight for us. They have somebody tracking us. The guy that we put back into the fray, unfortunately. But I don't know. Maybe we can use these Sandwalkers to our advantage. They're aware of the spiders, right? They have some sort of...
He kind of looks to Oz. Correct me if I'm wrong, but chances are they're probably hiding in the same way. If they bury themselves, there's probably good reason. Otherwise, they'd be walking around freely.
So you're telling me we should just wait till it's safe?
I don't imagine it's the worst idea, as long as we can stay hidden.
Okay. Alright, but I'm gonna stay up and keep watch. I sent Barry back. I had a feeling he was one of the reasons why they knew where we are.
And you don't think that keeping watch would be problematic? What if all the movement, all of the peeking is what gets us caught?
Well, you were keeping watch when I was taking rest. What's the difference of me doing that?
The difference is you're not shifting in form constantly and hidden amongst the sands. You're a giant purple dragon.
Listen, I don't like the attitude, first off. Second off, are you just telling me to go back to sleep and just, you got it?
Hopefully. It might be our best bet. That's all I'm saying. If you have a better idea, if you have something hidden away, by all means, give it a go.
I got nothing. I mean, I don't know what this does. I don't think this is gonna help us get out of the desert.
Kind of looks at it, a little puzzled. You are using that thing. That's... Is it supposed to be something special? Is that...
Well, I used it once. April gave it to me, so it's...
Nope, don't use it. Don't use this. It's probably not a good idea.
April. Do you think she's still around? Watching?
I hope not. Don't even consider it.
Alright. You seem to have it all together, Nindal, so I'm gonna trust you on this one, and I'm gonna go rest. I'll I'll keep watch, but in the ground, I guess. And I'm gonna walk back over to the hole that I dug and plop right back in it, but holding my wand like this.
Okay. All right. So, as you go make your bed for the night, I suppose we could say, I would like for you to make a stealth check. And I'll say at advantage.
Oh, cool. Well, 17 and 18.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that is not bad at all.
Take that, Nindal.
Okay.
I
So,
can be stealthy as a big purple dragon.
as you kind of
Middle
settle
of
back in
White sand.
down below, you just kind of keep your eyes and ears peeled for a time. Are you looking to try to finish out your rest properly, or are you looking to just stay
Yeah,
up
if that's
and
a
stay on
possible
edge?
thing, I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
I'm just gonna rest?
I would love my spell slots back. Yeah. So, and Nindal seems like he's got it.
Okay. You
yeah.
know, just as the one PC of this group, I would like you to, I'll even say, make a survival check to determine the odds here.
Okay. That is not good. 4.
4? Fantastic.
You made me roll at advantage, and I didn't need to. I wasted that good roll.
Wasting all the good stuff. Yeah, for sure. All right. Then here's what's happening. So as you kind of settle back in and start to rest, you got something?
Can I do? Because I already had a long rest, right? Or a short rest, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do arcane recovery, so I do get a spell slot back.
Ah, great touch.
I totally forgot I have that. A 2 combined level.
Yeah, that's super useful.
You can choose.
All right. Fantastic. All right. So then, as you guys are all kind of either resting or kind of keeping lookout, you notice that there seems to be some amount of sound coming from over that ridge where the other two are. And while trying to keep quiet, you can tell that there seems to be more noise than there should be coming from two people trying to keep quiet, essentially. Would you like to try to continue going to sleep or try to stay on the lookout?
For the record, that's not how arcane recovery works, so I scratch everything I just said.
Okay, noted.
We'll talk about that later. I hear stuff. Do I want to continue? No, I don't want to continue resting. If I hear something, I'm going to get up.
All right.
Yeah.
I will warn you, if you don't get your full 8 hours...
Yeah, I already was skeptical about Nindal. As much as I want my spell slots, I'm going to get up. That's what's going to... Yeah, it's going to happen.
Okay.
Let me wiggle out of there again.
All right. So, as you fly back over this dune and you go to check on them, make a perception check for me.
Okay. Different die. 2.
2? Okay.
I got sleepies in my eye.
Cool. So, as you look over, it's hard to see exactly what's going on, but it looks to you like these two are... It's hard to make out their exact forms given the nature of their potion. You can just see these shifting figures of where they are, but you can tell that they almost look like they're dancing around at this certain point, and they're just kind of like whisper shouting back and forth to one another.
I see 2 objects doing this.
2 like faded figures of the two
And
of,
I don't see
of
Nindal
Oz and Nindal.
Oh, okay.
You can see where they are, but their potion is masking their presence largely.
Well, I'm assuming that's what he was talking about, right? By changing shape and stuff. So
Yeah, so you know that this is them at
Yeah.
least.
Okay. I'm gonna just cautiously walk a little bit closer. Everything okay, guys?
As now you can tell these figures stopped. Where'd it go? Oh no. Run, quick, get out. Or
Me?
don't, I
What?
don't know. Just look out below.
Below? What happens when I look down?
Make another perception check and find out.
Oh, come on. Dude, I think it's just a 6.
6? It's just sand.
Okay.
It's nighttime. There's
I'm-
very low visibility given the moonlight.
He says go, so I'm gonna run back towards where my hole is, but I don't want to jump into it yet. I'm gonna stare at where I was to see if I see anything.
Nice. Oz is gonna be whisper shouting from behind you. Get on the creature. Get on it and just get out of here. Get far enough away. Quick. Hey, go.
Okay, I'm gonna run towards a sandwalker.
And as you're running towards that sandwalker, I would like you to make a
What's grabbing me from the sand?
dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
It's okay, I'm great at this. 15.
15. That's actually, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, take that.
Um,
Whatever's trying to get me. Do I have to make 8 more?
No.
7.
But does a 25 hit?
Does a 25
Wait.
hit? Hold on, let me see.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Cool.
25 does hit.
All right.
Just barely, though.
Just barely. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. All right.
A 24 would be double my armor class. So yeah, 25 demolishes.
Okay. You're going to take 2 points of bludgeoning damage and 6 points of fire damage.
What?
Am I not
All
fire
at
resistant?
once. As now, flying up through the sands, you see this light kind of burning reddish, almost rock formation jut out at you. And as you look down at your feet, you can see what almost looks like an earthen drill, for lack of a better word. As this thing just jumps up at you, and you can see now this tunneled figure of exactly what you had discussed, actually, funny enough, last week. Good roll. As this massive sandworm type creature just flies up at you and just burns along your entire torso,
Ow.
looking to skewer you. But with that, you are able to get very close to Jeff already, as now you can hear Oz and Nindal shouting amongst themselves, where Nindal is actually the one yelling at Osmanthus for his cruelty, as he's like, "Why would you do that to him? You should have stayed still." And they now, you can hear, are also riding off into the distance.
Do I still see the thing that hit me?
It jumps up for a brief moment, but it's quickly burrowing beneath the sand again.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just take off wherever they're headed. I'm gonna attempt to go, but this time I'm gonna be pretty much waiting for it to pop up again. Just kind of like
Okay.
looking, trying to see if I could figure out.
Cool. All right.
As we're going.
Are you looking to go full speed and
Yeah.
okay? I was gonna say.
Oh,
So if you go full speed, it's gonna be harder to take your action. If you go normal speed, you can take your action as normal.
I think I'll start with normal
Normal. Okay. Cool.
because I just feel like I am gonna get hit again, so I want to be prepared for that.
You can tell these two are trying their best not to like shout you down in the middle of the night where everything's dead silent. But Nindal is going to be a little bit louder as he calls out to you, "Cala-Gone, get far, quickly!" And you can see now as you start to get over that ridge that these guys are already just booking it way, way out. And this creature now you can see as it is just appearing and disappearing through these sands and just tunneling around you as it just continues to dig.
When it pops up,
And
can
pop
I
up.
cast something at it?
By all means, yeah.
I'm gonna cast Friends at the worm.
Okay.
Within range, I choose to affect the. Jeez. Oh wow. Yeah, this is really annoying. Hold on, I'm sorry. If you cast this spell multiple times. Oh no.
Wow.
Do you want to take a look at that for me real quick while I deal with
Yeah, I
this
guess.
Is this the
technological
cantrip?
issue?
He's got a technical. Yeah, it is.
A technical issue.
This just grants you advantage on all charisma checks directed at a creature that isn't hostile towards you.
That isn't hostile?
Yeah.
So I can't even read that right now.
No, guess not.
Sensory effect, you can, if you cast a spell multiple times, you can have up to 3
Does it give me a hard time?
fire play instantly. Like, oh wait, no, that's not
Oh,
what it
you're
is.
on precipice. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Sense of friendship towards one creature you can see within range. The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw every time. Target succeed automatically if it isn't humanoid you're fighting.
Always
You can
exciting
cast a spell.
getting to see new
The
threats.
spell, the cast on it. Spell ends early. Wait, what does it say? Something about?
Maybe they've changed that since.
Yeah, it says
they updated
you
it?
magically emanate a sense of friendship towards one creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw
Oh,
or
they
have
used
the
to have that
charmed
part.
condition for the duration. The target
Wow, that's completely
succeeds
different.
automatically if it isn't humanoid. If you're
Okay.
if you're
You would
fighting
still
it,
know that at the very
or
least. So
yeah, if they cast.
if
blah,
you're
blah, blah.
fighting it, okay. So
Okay.
yeah, it's similar. It's just slightly different wording.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So the okay. Well, that's not cool. All right. Well, then yeah, I'm just gonna listen to Nindal and run away, like I said.
Okay. And
That's
are you still trying to
unfortunate.
hold anything, or are you just booking it?
No, I'm just booking it.
Cool.
'Cause that's what I was gonna hold.
Make one more perception check for me, actually.
20.
20. Perfect.
Not 20.
Sheesh. All right. Very, very helpful then.
Good.
As you can tell that as this thing's following you, it's kind of swerving around as it's trying its best to catch up, but you notice that it starts to straighten out the faster you start to pick up. And as it does so, you can tell that it's slowly just drifting further and further behind, but still heading towards you, at the very least.
Okay. How does the Sandwalker look? Is he well rested?
The Sandwalker's chilling. Yeah, Sandwalker's doing all right for now.
Then let's go.
Nice.
Go.
Osmanthus would probably slow a little bit at Nindal's behest, and falling back towards you, he's just gonna say, "Hey, listen, the things within the sand typically feel motion within the sand, so you gotta be really careful. You just gotta be quick. If we stop, it's not necessarily dangerous. We just need to get far enough away that it's not a problem."
What if I can mess with its senses and blow wind or create some sort of motion somewhere else?
Is it as heavy as a Sandwalker?
No, it won't be as heavy as a Sandwalker. It'd be more like a gust of wind, or maybe like a fire that.
Gust of wind sounds like just every day out here.
What about this? My firebolt like 100 feet away from me on the left side.
Seriously, what the heck? That might just do something. I really don't
I do
know.
it with this,
Wait,
by the way.
No, don't do that. It's nighttime. Stop it. Stop it now.
I already did it with this.
Is that a first level? Or is that
That's
a
a
cantrip? That's a
cantrip.
cantrip, right? Okay, you're good.
Good? Okay,
Oh,
good. Whew, all right.
close.
Because that's all I got to do with.
Cool.
Well, I already did it.
You gotta be careful. Remember, we're also being chased by someone else.
Yeah, but they're farther away. Nindal says they're too far away, and we're not worrying about
Yeah,
them.
it's been a bit now. They're getting closer, presumably.
Nindal said it was okay, and if it's not okay, I'm gonna be really mad.
I don't even know who Nindal is.
Okay, so are we going, or are we staying? Are we stopping? Are we going?
Keep going for a little bit. I don't know.
Okay.
Stop when that guy stops.
Yeah.
All right. After a good half hour, Nindal comes to a slow, and I'd like for you to make one more survival check for me.
So much rolling.
I'm also making one
19.
in your benefit.
Plus
Also
2, I
19.
think.
Wow, fantastic.
So yeah, 21.
Oz kind of scoping the perimeter a little bit, slows and eventually catches up to Nindal, as now he's like, all right, are we good? I'm not seeing any tracks or anything out on this side. Nindal says, it's probably best for us to lay low. We should probably stop moving at all costs. Anything else like that and we're done for.
Well, what about the Sandwalkers? They keep moving around. Should we put them over there? So if he comes, he...
They typically just shift into the sands at night. We should be fine.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, I'm kind of scared, Nindal. I'm not gonna lie.
Aren't you all the ones that Jean was terrified of? Why are you so scared?
I'm good at fighting things that I could see. Not good at fighting things I cannot.
That makes sense.
I could see really well with colors. We learned that the other day. But other than that, it's tough.
Well, turns out my cloaking isn't good enough to deal with such a creature. And more specifically, and as he looks at you, he says, probably should have warned you about this sooner. This is technically a form of heat mirage. You might not want to get too close to us.
Okay.
And you watch as he starts backing away a little bit further again. And as he now hops off of 3, you can tell that there's a slight melt to the leather around where the saddle, what's it called? Where the feet go in? Stirrups?
Stirrups,
Yeah.
yep.
So the stirrups seem to be melted a little bit, and you can tell that he wasn't actually fully seated that whole time, but rather trying his best to stay raised above the creature to avoid burning it. And now as he hops down, Oz does the same, and they just start to kind of like soothe their sandwalkers, trying to kind of verbally mostly just tell them like, oh, it's okay, lay down, you know, get some rest.
I'm gonna watch them do that and walk over to Jeff and kind of try to do that too.
Nice. Make an
A
animal
little
handling
bit.
check.
Okay. Hey Jeff, that was a little scary, wasn't it, buddy? 1. All right. Sorry, I'll leave you alone.
Terrible reminder.
Nat 1. That was fantastic.
Incredible. Okay. Then I will roll for the remainder as I will give you one final option. There is still one more shift to go, technically speaking. Would you like to rest? Or would you like to stay up?
I don't think I can rest after that, which is so aggravating to me because No, I'm not going to rest, Tristan.
Cool. All right, well then as you stay restless, dodging random creatures in the wilds, Arlyn instead hears, as you set up camp sometime before all this is happening, starting to unpack your bags and try to get things ready just outside of Rudon, Jean comes over to you. Listen, it's not that I don't want to say anything. In fact, I desperately want to tell everyone everything. The truth is, if the wrong nation gets word of where I'm at, they'll definitely kill me. For sure.
How do you know which is the right or wrong nation?
I really don't, for the most part. I think the Vindrel Dynasty calling on you guys to get me alive is a pretty good start. But the truth is, I would need someone like them. I would need a powerhouse. I mean, the nations like that have crazy large armies that can protect someone like me. It grants me a sense of security. If I were to just keep blabbing to every person that came by, I would have no value to them, and I would lose that same sense of security. I'd be as good as worthless. You have to understand my position. It's not something I can take lightly, and as much as I'd love to go on and talk about whatever places you want me to see, maybe it's best that I do just go with them.
What's Rodrick doing right now?
What is Rodrick doing right now?
Well, given the fact that Rodrick only has 1 hit point.
Passing out in the corner.
Yeah. I would assume that he's just kind of like gazing off into the distance. Just like, today's been such a long day. How I could use some warmth, a nice bed. Maybe some extra linens. How I'd like to get the sand out of my cheeks. Oh, they've been coarse for days.
So,
Horrible.
as Arlyn has this conversation with Jean, he glances over to Rodrick a little bit. Realizes he would be useless to bring into the conversation right now. And looks back at Jean and says, there's just so many things that we have questions about. I mean, if we are these 4 horsemen that are in these prophecies, I mean, we're running solely off assumption here, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Then there are so many questions that we need answered too. So imagine the value that you provide to us by being able to have some of these answer to, or at least insight to get closer to these answers. I mean, you've seen what you've seen. And
Yeah.
if we are them, that's a massive responsibility. And if we do carry on the death that you proclaim that we do, that is not something that is within the nature of me and my companions. And I believe we reserve the right to know the information about this, so we can actively work against this destruction you keep stating. I mean, and if we're not them, maybe we can counteract this.
Make a persuasion check.
Using Rodrick dice here.
You should use Rodrick Matt too.
Let's use Rodrick Matt. Let's see.
You should use your dice.
Go away from me.
You should use Roderick's
Yeah.
hand next
It's all
time.
just me.
You should use Rodrick's hand.
9.
Much better.
Yeah, of course it
Nobody
is.
use Rodrick's hands.
In my time with you guys, as little as that's been, I've seen you lot repeatedly threaten not only goblins, then he kind of looks over to Felgren, who's like perched up against a tree and like nodding off and slowly kind of trying to fight sleep. He says, your friend here has repeatedly tried to vote out another person just because he knows about what you all call yourselves? What does that even say for me then? So what, I don't ally with you and now I get voted out too? Now it's a matter of whether I survive or die?
Am I there?
You're around.
If I could, I think the thing that he overheard was the parts that you were freaking everybody out about, where we're gonna end the world or whatever. And then,
It's a problem.
yeah, well, they didn't like everybody viewing us that way. That's all.
Listen. It is a fair worry. Okay. I understand. We are also... We're trying to find our dynamic as a group as we go. And some of this information, I mean, to be completely honest, our sole mission is based on our reputation.
Right.
And a person who believes that we are here for death and destruction, which we are not. Let me make sure that I state that. But a person who solely believes that and goes out into the world to spread these news, do I agree that it should be taken in a threatening manner? No, I disagree completely. That was a little bit unhinged. I was not there for that. But I definitely do believe that this should be explained further. People need to know our true character. But just like you have information that makes you valuable, I mean, we have information that makes us valuable, and we cannot necessarily... We cannot spread that around so easily either.
May I interject?
Oh, Rodrick is here.
Easy enough. Absolutely.
Archaeologist, right?
I suppose, yes.
Okay. You and I, we've got something in common that the rest don't have.
Okay.
We're professionals of our craft, you see. I have mine, and you have yours.
Right.
And that craft is staked upon our reputation. Okay? You have a staunch reputation to locate artifacts and to know things, just like I have a staunch reputation to be the greatest performer that's ever lived.
So are you saying those threats were a performance?
Anything?
Sorry, do you have a stage name?
A stage name? Why would I need one? Have you not heard my name?
What is it?
The name is Rodrick Elwood.
Can I make a small gust as he says it?
Fantastic. Just gonna...
The greatest performer in Allura. You should see me with a bow.
Fair enough. Maybe I'm just out in the boonies too often, and I do a lot of my
Maybe you just
research.
spend too much time in jail cells that I've been sent to take you out of.
Well, I can definitely confirm that. I would prefer not to spend any time there, so...
And we can
Yes.
keep you out of that. So, the severity of our reputation is one of utmost importance. Do you agree? If not for your reputation, what would deem you useful as the archaeologist?
If not for my reputation, I probably wouldn't be under constant threat, honestly.
Under constant threat.
But I wouldn't have the opportunities I have.
And same as us. So if you take it upon yourself to create a reputation for us, that doesn't leave us room to do it for ourselves. Doesn't leave me room to write our song. And if you take our song from me, Gene Canedo, ask Felgren what can happen.
He's definitely just
Again.
looking at Arlyn again.
So Arlyn goes, again, we have yet to discuss the manner of our interactions.
You guys have taken to each other as a group one of apparent legend, yet you're not familiar with the legend at hand.
We're not.
And you're not familiar with each other?
Well,
I reckon
let
that's the real problem at hand.
Yes.
It's like everybody here has just a piece of the information that we need.
Correct.
I'm just suggesting, and I'm not even. I'm on board with telling the man who hired us that we found you, bringing you in and letting him know, but then meeting a later date, because the only thing I'm really suggesting is that we all go and get these answers. Because if things are as bad as you think they are, we should know. If they aren't, and our purpose is to serve something good, we should know. So I just ask that you give us the better part of a week to go down. Well, so it's only a day's travel, but before we go to the city. So maybe half a week that we set aside where we can go and find the answers. I don't know how long you'd want to study these.
Why do you suppose we would do that?
Well, that's the part that we haven't finished sharing with you. Are you?
I mean, so I look at Rodrick and I look at Cleave and kind of for like that subliminal validation of sharing our mission.
I do my signature.
Necessarily. So I say,
He's an archaeologist, Rodrick.
I need something from him first. What does Evandil want with you?
I don't know who Evandil is.
What
That's
does
the
the
ambassador
Vindrel
of the
dynasty
Vindrel dynasty,
want
yes.
with you? Are you a wanted man? Were we sent out to find a fugitive?
Undoubtedly in some ways, but I don't think from them. Yeah, I don't... I'll tell you this much. Dracht... Probably not the best of terms. Dragos? Pretty sure those guys want me dead. The rest of them are more of a toss-up. Based on the fact that he's trying to pull me in, my hope is that he doesn't want me dead.
The question is, what have you done?
I poke around a little bit.
We've all poked around, here and there. What have you done that makes you so worthy of death in their eyes?
Hopefully nothing.
So it's just that
Nothing
maybe you know
worthy of
too
death.
much?
If I were to ask them, what would they say?
For which?
Let's go with
Dragos.
Dragos.
Well, you remember that little display I showed you with the big old monster earlier?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that one's public info. It's just a nice little Easter egg I feel like teasing about. Just kind of make sure that, kind of stick it to the man a little bit.
Except, public. How secretive is it to release a gigantic monster into the world?
See, that's exactly the thing. I've never heard about it.
Really?
So I don't know how that could be possible.
Is
And
there a
Dragos was involved in that?
Yeah. Very much so. They released it. And then claimed the place as their own afterwards, despite the creature's existence.
Yeah, it would be sensitive information.
Yeah.
It's a little weird, don't you think?
A little bit. How did you gain the power that you have?
I think this definitely falls under the umbrella category of things I'm not going to tell you.
Well,
Well, I'm trying to create a little relationship here. I mean, if you want to know things from us, then we should expect to know things from you.
I don't want to know much about you guys at all. I want a proper bed.
So, may I suggest this then? Upon arrival from our friends over there, well, actually, we could even go inside. They'll let them in. We've been allowed in before. We go inside. We get our room at the inn. We wait for our allies. We even let the gatesmen know to wait for them. Let us know if they come on the horizon. And after we rest up in the morning, we report to the ambassador that we have accomplished the mission, and that we will deliver him personally, because we are the only god we're going to trust for now, to the Vindrel dynasty in 3-4 days time. Would that be all right? He gets a bed. We accomplish our mission. We get paid. We also get our information.
I think that is fine. I just realized something that he said. He said he doesn't know for sure if what he saw and what he showed us from Dragos is real. He wasn't there to see it with his own eyes. Correct?
Technically correct.
So how do you know? What was it?
Once I'm starting to go over my powers with you guys. This is too much. Listen, I have my way of knowing things.
Okay.
do you not have draconic power flowing through your veins?
Remember the whole not talking about this stuff bit?
You don't have to tell us where it comes from, but perhaps we can use it to our advantage. Can you see the future? Or the
Can I
past?
see the future or the past? Listen, I've already said that much. Yes, I can see the past.
If you touch my arm, can you see something about me?
Surprisingly, it doesn't work with people. It's more specific to places, and especially places that have power left over in them.
So I see why you want to seek out the Bastion.
He's the archaeologist, not the biographer. I see.
Haha.
Makes sense. I like it.
All right. Well, really, the information that I'm more interested in, and I think maybe you'd agree, is us. If he could
And
give
that I
us the
can't do?
information on
Well,
us.
he's saying he has no information on us. We're not a place.
No, but we have a place. We have a place he could study that would give us the information that we all need.
Well, those caverns.
Might give him peace of mind.
Correct.
Oh. Oh, there's no way we can go back without him. You up for another adventure, Gene Canito?
No, I'm not.
Could have told you that answer, Rodrick.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I will see you brought to the city to which you promised yourself safely, and with my partner's leave, I will guarantee your safety out of that city if we find ourselves in another goblin scenario over there. You will arrive safely one way or another. I ask only in return that you pay your real debt to the people who did save you, and just find the answers that you know you want. Because if you leave us alone, we're just going to end the world. According to what you may know. Or maybe you come over there, you see these caverns where we learned of who we are.
Or who we might be.
Correct, and I'd love to know more about myself because lately I've got such a hankering to end civilization as I know it. So
You gotta.
it'd be great to know
Don't
more.
listen. Just, he's the greatest entertainer of all of the Lord. Give one moment. Just hear us out.
Take everything he says with a half-truth.
Joel, make a persuasion check now at disadvantage.
Okay.
I did two good ones. I don't know. Wait, what are you?
He said
18.
Joel. He said Joel
I
make
did
a
say Joel.
persuasion check.
Oh, I thought it
Your
was...
disadvantage.
I said you all.
Yeah.
I'm so
I-
sorry.
I
My
heard- I
higher one
heard
was
you
18,
all.
but my lower one was still 12, which is a +1. 13. It's okay.
Okay, well, that's not bad at all.
My disadvantage was 18.
That is enough, at least, to get him probing. To which he simply responds, "What do you mean caves where you found out about yourselves?"
That's information that we can't necessarily share.
I won't give you any more specifics, but it was an archaeological find, which led us to band together.
I will say it was
Stunning.
It was overwhelmingly incredible.
I think
Things
that you
we
only
don't
have
understand.
part of the story. If we could just confirm or deny by going to this place. If we go here and you read the signs and it says it's definitely the end of the world, maybe we'll have no choice. We'll disband. But we have to know. Or else we're just going to keep adventuring around.
Why is this place going to tell you? I don't understand. You genuinely don't make any sense.
How many murals?
It's prophecy, just like what you gave us.
Well, you said these bastions are a love letter to the Four Horsemen, right? What exactly does that mean? Is there like
I said that's the wrong guys.
a mural in each one of the bastions or whatever?
You guys have so many questions.
Hey, do you guys
Wait,
think
it's
Cala-Gone's
badass.
okay?
Probably dead.
If you
Huh.
found out there was a
Does
prophecy
that
about
mean
you,
the little one really is the fourth horseman? How would that work?
It would be.
he
at
just
this
sort of
point.
says that, but it's possible.
Gene,
That
imagine a place filled with these murals. Every wall and room filled with prophecy. Prophecy that, frankly, we do not understand. Yet you might.
Didn't say mural that I remember. What are the murals of?
Ah,
we could.
Oh, my memory. I can't seem to remember.
We could give you vague descriptions, but we don't understand them, and we weren't able to stay as long as we wanted to, even for us to try to understand them. But we do know that they looked like us. There was 4 of them. They were besides horses.
There was that one that unlocked the origins of the universe. The one that spoke of the origins of the universe.
I can also say
The
this:
origins of the universe. Okay.
it's not. We know that it's not happenstance because, upon coming into contact with some of these murals, That is how some of us gained our powers.
Correct.
Dang it.
So we know it's credible.
You gained your powers from murals.
Not entirely, but there was
Certain
additional
special abilities.
Yes.
Yes.
And the walls could speak. We could hear it.
That too. Somebody called me son.
Mm-hmm.
Might be my dad.
The wolves could speak. Where's-
Make
Where's-
a group persuasion check here.
We're not lying, technically.
Yeah, he said persuasion.
Yeah, not deception.
10?
That was...
It was 9, but I have +1. So 10's not bad.
Ooh.
It's not as good, but it's fine.
What do we got, boys?
22.
Wow, let's go. All right.
16.
Charisma based classes for the win.
Okay, that meets it.
Too many things of what you've mentioned line up with things that I've seen. Problem is, they only line up with things that I've seen in places that do not sound like what you're talking about. So how the heck did you guys just stumble upon something like this?
And
Because we were
here's
meant
the
to.
best part.
Hate that
We did
answer.
not go there together on purpose.
We
There's
were...
a reason why we stuck together after this.
It
And-
was there that we were unified.
Correct.
You guys didn't even know each other until you got your powers from a wall?
More than a wall. There was a lot more to it. We're trying to get you in on all of this information. Are you in? It's your whole name. It's your whole calling.
You said it's a day from here?
It's just a day, and we'll sleep on a nice bed first, maybe.
Let me get a night's rest in a nice bed and we'll talk about it.
Right. We just gotta make sure our other friends make it here first, too.
That
All right.
sounds like a not so nice night's rest.
No, not you. You're gonna get on a bed. Do you all want to get inside?
Frankly, I'm a little bit nervous. We might not come out with
I'm not
Jean.
so sure I can rest soundly in there. Well, Cala-Gone is out in the wilderness. I'm quite shocked that you're as calm as you are.
No, I'm gonna be going back out. I just need to get you all safe so I know I'm not worrying about two fronts.
Okay, well, if you're going back out, then I guess I'll take the sacrifice for the team. I'll go sleep in a warm bed tonight.
Oh, Rodrick.
We did need someone to do it.
What a guy.
I'll go into the inn. You
Alright.
sure you've got this out here in the camp?
Just give me an hour and I'll be able to, do what I just did again.
Hey,
Not giant, but
Well, at
Little
least
piece-
blend in. To
little
the
piece of
forest.
advice from someone that has done it already. My idea, the one I had in the beginning, works splendidly.
yeah.
If need be, dig a hole, leave your head exposed, wear the mask.
I can even do it as a sandwalker now.
Mm-hmm.
You learned it from the best. It's good.
There's not much sand in this area, but
Well, I'm going
digging a
back
hole
out,
works
but yeah.
anyway. Best of
Well,
luck
let's get
to
you to
then.
the wall first.
And
So I
you
wanna-
can afford to house all of us.
Oh, yes.
For a night? Undoubtedly.
Should be no problem at all.
I know you met us in jail cells, but that's not the nature of... We've got you covered. You
Let's
are
just say, I paid my way through Gracht,
And
which I technically did.
you're staying out here and he's going in with me?
Well, he's going in there with you. He's going to get his own bed.
Too.
He has a a different deal worked out with the local inn.
Yes. And I also have a vested interest in making sure that you are safe.
It's part of my concern. I'll take it though. Why not? As he kind of gets back up to his feet in full, and he just kind of looks over at the mostly unconscious Felgren. Hey, we're going with your captor here to go rest in some proper beds. You all right with that? Yes, please. That sounds great.
Yeah, we're just gonna get you somewhere nice to sleep, mate. Come on.
As
Yeah,
they
I'm gonna give him my hand. Reach
both
down.
rise. Nice. Yeah, he'll take it from you.
As we're walking, I would say under my breath, wouldn't necessarily choose captors as the right word.
Cleave. Then I assume sending Rumgar with the rest of them.
Yeah, for sure.
You
I'm gonna have
may-
everybody go inside.
Then stay put on the outside. What would you like to do out there?
Oh man. I guess No, I had already become an animal twice. I'm just gonna camp out with them for an hour, just somewhere comfortable inside, safe. And after an hour, I'm gonna go back out into the night to try to go help.
Nice. Very cool. All right. Go ahead and make, I'll say, either a perception or survival check in this instance.
Yeah, we'll go survival for sure. 20, unnatural.
20.
Dirty
Perfect. Okay. You know that most of the threats here are long since gone due to the guild's workings.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll one more then for the next shift if you'd like to stay out there.
What do you mean?
If you're
they're
gonna
all
stay
in
out
bed
there
and
for
I'm
the
just, like-
duration of the night, yeah.
No, I'm gonna move. As soon as 1 hour is up, I want to start going back out into the desert to go find them.
Oh, you're just going straight out to
Yeah,
them.
I would become like a sandwalker again and just move. Or
Okay.
anything faster if I know of anything that's faster.
What's your
than
pick?
Those worms
that. I
are
don't know,
pretty
man.
fast.
Do I know of anything that might be faster through the sand?
You know that so far, of the things in the sands, you've seen traditional wolves, coyotes, things of that nature, jackals, or at least the party has, a giant scorpion,
can't
sandwalkers,
be that.
camels, ostriches, giant snakes,
Are the
giant
giant snakes
spiders.
as fast? Do they seem like they're that
For
fast?
the record, I asked this
You've
last
not
session,
seen them
and
move
Rodrick
in
made
that
fun
way.
of me.
You just
So.
see them pop up and then vanish underneath.
It's in the name, Cala-Gone, I think is what you said.
I'll stick with Sandwalker.
And
No.
direwolves.
I'll be a direwolf.
Direwolf?
That makes sense.
Okay,
They're like the same speed, but they're more capable of protecting themselves. I think.
for sure.
All
Okay. All right. Then, yeah, booking it out there and just kind of doing your best to sniff around and track and try to kind of follow a similar path to the way you guys came. You're able to make your way a good distance out into the sands. But you take it that by now, there's a good chance that they've set up for the night, given the fact that it's getting pretty darn late by the time you get back out there.
Then I'm just gonna keep following my tracks because they have to be huge. I'll just keep following that.
Okay. Then I will say
Unless, of course, there's
specifically
obviously
make
like stealth creatures all going crazy around there.
make one more perception check, just base value there. Base roll.
It's a natural one.
Natural one. Okay. Being that it is nighttime, and that you know that the sands out here move quite regularly, given the higher winds, you start kind of trailing out, and as you start back from where you figure you were, you think you see like remnants of that same path, and you remember that you were just kind of blowing through it, not trying to really track, and honestly reforming some of the dunes themselves. And so whatever path there may have been has now kind of settled a little bit, and it gets very hard after like half a mile to track anything.
Oh man.
Going into an ocean of sand here.
Then I'm just gonna keep traveling in the direction that I know I have to go, whatever like the cardinal direction is. and I won't go as fast. I'll just kind of keep every once in a while going to the top of a high dune and like looking around for them, and then continuing on in that direction.
Cool. All right, Nick. This will be the final perception check for that band of orcs throughout this nighttime raid.
Nothing to worry about.
Very good. Alrighty. So as you sniff about and start tracking and trying to find your way back, you start getting sense here and there, but it's hard to say whether it was any of you and your companions or just animals that have kind of since burrowed back beneath the sands of Gracht. And trailing out, you recognize the fact that it's not going to be easy, but you continue forward, where much, much farther down along that path, Cala-Gone, as you're resting
I am not resting. Remember?
to the best of your ability while
Okay.
not resting at all.
Fetal position right now. Middle of the sand.
Scared?
Make a perception check yourself then, actually.
I saw I was on a 20 and then went 2. 2.
Cool. Then I'll do for these fellers since...
Can't see much when you're in the fetal
7 and a
position.
3. Alright,
Just looking at your knees.
it's not looking too great based on the rolls, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta stay true to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said,
Mm-hmm.
it's not long before you start hearing not voices, not footfalls, but rather a jolly old tune. And
Tom Bombadil?
far,
That's what I was
far,
thinking. Just from Jolly Old Tune.
far, far away, you start to hear this, and it's almost this tranquil, this serene sound that just shreds through the darkness and through the silence of night with this eerie sense of mystique, being that there should be no creatures, let alone people,
Mm-hmm.
out this far.
Okay. Oz. Oz. Do you hear that?
What am I supposed to hear? And you can see
whistling.
his ears perk up, but you can still recognize the mass amounts of burns all along the inside of his ears from where Flung
Ugh.
kind of ate away at him.
Nindal. Nindal, do you hear that?
What am I supposed to be hearing?
There's a whistle. Some sort of melody or song. You don't hear it?
Yes, I hear it. What?
What is that?
He starts like crawling rapidly up to the top of a mound. And he, hide or run. Pick
Run,
one.
run.
Quickly.
Jumping on Jeff. Running.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
As you do so, Nindal is gonna just shout down to Osmanthus, make sure we stay as quiet as possible. Do not burn the mounts. And he just starts like sliding his way back down. Full speed? Regular
Full speed ahead.
Okay. Cool.
And dashing.
Um,
Dashing with the sandwalker.
The whistling continues on, and after you guys start kicking up some sands, it isn't immediate that you start to hear anything, any change of tone or otherwise. And then sometime later, a good like 10 minutes pass of you guys just full speed ahead. And no lights. You just hear this light shouting from behind. And it is very, very recognizable. As you can now hear, sorry chaps! And now the orcs just shouting him down. As you can now hear that it isn't just a small band, but there seem to be a good amount, at least, of creatures just all drowning out the noise of him shouting. And as they continue to do so, you just hear him as he actually just shouts louder than the rest. Bang! And you hear an explosion. from well behind where you're at. And walking on behind where you're at, you can now look and see where there is clear light from fire and smoke. Just maybe a good, like, half-mile back from where you're at now.
So they are getting closer, is what you're saying,
And
as we are rushing.
it definitely seems that way at first glance.
And do I recognize this being the horde of goblins and stuff?
Certainly possible.
Certainly
Make
possible.
a perception check.
I'm not doing really well with those, but okay. 12.
12.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'd say given the noises, it's not too hard.
All right.
Because despite seeing that, there are some things that seem even closer than that. And you can tell that that voice either carried really, really well or must have actually come from closer. And you hear it again. Bang! And yet again you hear now a much louder explosion with it. And it seems much, much closer now as you see this second spire of flame just erupt. Not even maybe a quarter of a mile away from where you're at.
Okay.
And as though out of breath, you can hear now the shouting of this gentleman as he's just she told me I had to add a touch of whimsy, and I thought this might be a real kicker.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be like, Nindal, I told you we should have left.
And you hear shouting down from behind you. Now for the finishing touch. April, I'd like to change my mind. I wish I were back home with a hot cup of tea, my favorite brew, and with you as my new loyal servant, as long as I choose to relieve you of your service.
Talking about April?
And with that, you only now hear the shouts of orcs coming from behind you.
This guy's Jafar.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So how far back are they? You said half a mile?
Half a mile to a quarter of a mile, best bet.
And I don't see anything flying through the air or anything, right? So
You just see like a smattering of debris briefly.
Yeah.
Just looking back, and then just like little smoke columns.
and in front of me is just sand, right? Just as
To the
far as
best
the eye
of-
can see.
might have to
What you can see, yes, for sure.
All right, I'm gonna try to yell, Nindal, do you have anything? Any potion?
No, I'm fresh. And Osmanthus calls back and says, "This guy just made some like he basically made a laser out of twigs. You probably don't know what that. He made a very strong potion out of just like twigs and berries. It didn't make any sense what he already did. He's tapped out.
Throw it. You have it?
No, that's what we took. We're out.
Okay, I think we need to split up.
If we can get back home, then I've got plenty.
We gotta split up.
Gotta split. Fine, do whatever you want. I'm sticking with this guy.
If they're gonna catch us all. All of us are gonna be dead if we need to do something. And I'm gonna branch off to the left.
Cool. Osmanthus at this point with his nat 20 is gonna call to, you're veering off the path. It's not. We're not that far right now. Come on, just stay on the path.
I am going to veer off but to the point where I could still see them, at least between dunes and stuff.
Cool.
I just want to be like
you know what?
100
I'll keep
feet.
torturing you for the night. Why not?
Okay.
Let's add a perception check to this.
Let's do it. You know, I'm gonna get a different die. Let's see what happens here.
The Rodrick dice.
20. No, I'm just kidding. 10.
I thought it was.
That'd be crazy.
10.
The Rodrick dice.
Okay. You recognize the fact that the Sandwalkers are keeping lower as they're actually like riding, but they are going pretty darn fast. So it's not so careful that you can't catch them every now and then, knowing generally where they're going and being able to
Yeah.
course correct.
And do I notice they're following Oz? They didn't follow me as I tailed off to the side, or is it a big enough group that it's still
From
both of us?
behind you, you're not
Yeah.
seeing anything of. You're not seeing any movement directly behind you just yet.
Okay. So I'm gonna stay the 50 to 75 feet away from them but still going in the same direction, full
Make
speed.
make a survival check for me then.
Okay, let's do that. That one.
Oh no.
That one with a 2,
Not
I think.
going
So
well.
3.
Okay.
How many worms can come out now?
Cool.
Not really, but
You've had your fair share of worries, of close calls.
yeah, just hit me now, right?
As you're kind of riding along, you're trying your best to track Nindal and Oz as they are now just galloping as fast as they possibly can all the way off on the other end. And in trying to keep your wits about you while trying to make sure that you track, you're unfortunately not paying quite enough attention to the path ahead of you. As now the sand seems to start funneling downward beneath the weight of Jeff. And you feel now as this pressure now just drops. And it's almost like there was a floor beneath you, and that seems to vanish. As now you start sliding downward, and you recognize that there seems to have been a pit within these sands. And the only thing stopping the creatures from falling as far as the sands do is this massive, massive web. And immediately, as Jeff falls down, I would like for you to make a dexterity saving throw to try to land on Jeff and avoid the web. And we'll be back here in 10 minutes.
You know, believe it or not, I think that's actually what you need. You need like another bonus
Yeah,
enemy to be
some
another
thinking
extra.
time.
Should I roll? Should I roll now?
that's it.
And
That
then we
one, yeah, of
can-
course you're gonna get the big threat finally. It's about time. That's great. Well, yeah, I'm gonna find out how this
Calagon's
goes,
favorite.
and you guys will all
Yeah.
find out how it goes very, very soon.
See you guys.
Woo, see ya, chumps.
So it's a big web. It doesn't mean there's a spider. There's webs everywhere without spiders on them, right? It can't be. No. It's in the middle of the sand. The spiders live under the sand. Why would there be a big web? I don't know what's gonna happen, guys. But, I'm terrified. I hate spiders. I hate the sand. Oh, I hate sand spiders. But here goes nothing. Me and Jeff. Let's go. Let's go. This next roll is going to be entertaining. A lot rides on this. So stay tuned for that. Divine Inspiration Live on all platforms. If you're trying to reach out in any way, I'd love to see you comment and predict what's going to happen. Is my new wand going to be powerful enough to take on a giant spider? Am I going to use Jeff as bait? Who knows? We'll see in about 2 minutes. See you soon.
Alrighty. Well, welcome back to Calagon Dör versus the giant spider. As Cala-Gone riding on the back of Jeff, you just and as you start getting closer and closer towards your goal of escaping these noises, you recognize now as the ground starts falling out beneath you that the sands around you were just this thinly veiled, widely stretched web holding just grains of sands atop it, as though an intentional trap door created by this creature, as though it just knows instinctively to do so within this terrain. And as this smaller web gives way, you can see now where a much thicker web now starts to glisten in the moonlight. And as you fall, and you see Jeff now turn out to his side and hit the base, you yourself maneuvering. How do you do?
Snap.
What's funny is the roll I did here and the roll I did here are the exact same. And they're not good at all. Is this did you say survival?
This is a dexterity saving throw.
Saving throw.
You said triple advantage though.
Oh, did I say that? Oh, okay.
I did a sweet 6.
Sweet 6.
Yeah,
I like it.
A nice 6.
On a d6, that'd have been fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Remember, we're level 2. 6 is like not bad, right?
Cool.
No?
Yeah.
Then, as you now fall off of Jeff,
Yeah.
recognizing that you are much lighter and you lose control last second, not able to quite grab hold of the reins last second, you just kind of, in a panic, start to brace yourself to fall instead, and realizing there's not a regular floor for you to hit. Instead, you just, and with this bounce, it's not just your body that goes with it, but rather the entirety of this web, while you and Jeff just start to go back and forth. And starting to kind of string back and forth on this web. You can feel now where your face, your arm, your tail, your leg, your side, all the way across your body, just frozen solid, stuck to this web.
My robe, specifically, right? Or is it like my body parts, too?
So your body parts, your everything that you can feel specifically, at least, seems to be stuck in this moment.
Mr.
Go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's the same number.
Sweet 6, let's go. Oh my gosh.
That's what I just rolled.
Calagon's
Oh,
gonna
man.
die. Calagon's gonna
This
die.
is- The most unfortunate situation.
Yes, it is. It's okay, I have a backup character. His name is Dör Calagon.
Dark Cala-Gone.
This spider is exactly 30 feet from one and only 23 feet from the other
Can we get a visualization of what this thing looks like?
of
No,
just
no,
the
he's got it.
giant
You see
spider.
I
Oh,
see
do you not have it up on yours?
Oh, I do.
It looks
yeah.
like if
There
the
you go.
Cheshire cat turned into a
Oops,
spider.
sorry, I keep moving that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's a nice red one. Okay.
Yeah, nice juicy
How big?
sucker.
How tall?
Hard to make out
20
given the
by
fact
20?
that you're bouncing around sideways currently. In your view, it seems to be quickly approaching and taking up all of your sight.
Not going to Jeff. Going straight to me. I mean, Jeff looks juicy right now, so.
11 or higher, and it goes to Jeff.
Okay, let's do it. Yay! Yay! You're rolling. You do my rolls,
I mean, I would say Jeff is his like common diet, right? So like
right?
if I saw liver and pizza, like I'd go for pizza.
For sure. Alrighty.
Good point. That's a great point.
You watch it now as this thing just like, and this massive presence, the size of Jeff, but with legs that extend far further out to the sides, now kind of comes over to you, and with one leg kind of brushes these massive bristly hairs into your body that you can feel as it sends a shiver down your spine, and in doing so it just kind of feels that you are stuck currently, and instead starts towards the bigger threat, trying to not just wrap, but you can see where it immediately just and digs its pincers into Jeff.
These facial expressions brought to you by Joel Castro, not Cleave Sterwin. He would not endorse this
My
reaction.
Jeff.
Wow. Okay.
No way.
So he goes straight for the death. Okay.
How much health does
Give me
Jeff
poisons.
have?
Put some 99.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna roll for this. Let's see what we're looking at here, guys. We've got two different types of damage coming at you, at Jeff,
Oh,
rather.
no.
He wasn't even
from
supposed to be out
this
here.
critter.
He was supposed to be with us back in the village.
Yeah, poor guy got by you guys and your silly wishes. First roll is max damage, and the second roll
Tired of them killing myself.
is actually two of these ones instead. Better. Okay. Jeff
Is
is not looking very good right now. As you can see now, panicked beyond anything you've ever seen of him before. It's just grunts and moans, and for the first time you hear full-on whimpers as you hear the roar. As
Sorry,
you can
Jeff.
see now Jeff struggling within this web.
Okay.
It's your turn, Cala-Gone.
It's my turn. Yay! So I'm gonna look at this giant beast that I'm super terrified of. As you said, not just my body, so I won't be able to get out of my robes and like go anywhere. Is there a
It is very
bottom,
difficult, but
like under the web? How far down does it go?
it just looks black beneath you. You can see where the sands now on this thicker web just kind of went far below and just kind of vanished from sight.
And for my perspective,
This is
do
a
I
full-on
see?
trap.
Do I see a? Man, do I see all of the spider? Like, or am I just seeing like?
You see this just big old juicy spider. Yep, pretty darn well. It is luckily
Right.
direct center of this web and right within this moonlight.
Yeah, I got nothing else to do besides give it my all. And my all is gonna have to be my last spell slot.
Get rid of the web.
Dude, the web is so big.
There's a very, very
There's
large
nothing
web.
I could do for that.
Might be
Um,
flammable. Might be flammable.
Yeah. It might be.
Flame on?
I don't know.
Flame on.
I don't think so though.
Insight check moment. Before every episode, we all ask each other the question of the day. Once long ago, we asked, "What is your character's biggest fear?" We all got really like introspective and like deep and like and analogy. You know, like we were talking about some deep stuff. Exactly with spiders.
Mine spiders.
So this is awesome.
So it's only right.
That's what a net one gets you.
Friends ain't gonna work. I'm gonna magic missile this guy. My last spell slot. I'm gonna use this wand.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna say, April, I hope this works.
Oh my goodness.
Magic missile. I'm gonna send the missile specifically to its pincers, since I can aim it wherever I want. So, yeah, and it automatically hits.
Cool, roll your
So-
damage.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll damage first. All right.
I'm sorry, no, you're right. You've got something else to
Do I-
roll with that
okay.
wand.
So I
we
roll
need
that-
to
do I roll
determine
that
whether or
first?
not this even succeeds.
Oh, that's right.
Oh no.
First, you gotta. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta roll this first.
Wild
Yeah,
magic
buddy.
wand here.
Before even wild
So
magic, he has
does
to
it
roll
work?
To see if it
There's
even
so
works.
much riding on
No. Please? Please?
this. You may rely on it.
You may rely on it.
You may rely on it. That means,
Hey,
that
hey,
means
it works.
yes.
Fantastic.
It works.
I may rely on the spell.
Now,
Now.
with
we
that,
roll.
yeah, we've seen that there are some specifics to how this thing works, and it guarantees that it will set off some additional effect.
Let's go.
Let's find out what that
Please
effect
be a
is.
useful
Let's see.
one. Come on. What is? That's 50, right? Is that 50?
Oh no,
That's 5?
5.
No, that's
that
5.
is 5.
All right,
let's
Nick,
look at
would
the
you
wild
like
magic
to read off what
chart.
5 gets you?
All right. So whenever I use this wand,
Wild magic table,
I have an
let's go.
opportunity, or it has a chance to do an additional thing. Where is the? Here it is. And
5.
5 is a more. What is that? What's that word?
Let's look that up.
A modron?
Modron?
Modron, like
a
a-
modron chosen and controlled by the DM appears, and it is in an
knows what it
unoccupied
is.
space within 5 feet of you. Then it disappears after 1 minute later.
Why are they bringing
So what is a
friggin'
modron?
constructs into this thing?
It's a
I'm pretty sure that's like
construct,
a-
and it's in
Or
the
no, that's
web
like.
now.
Oh no, wait, is that? Yeah, no, those are the weird ones.
Modron? Modron?
Yeah, there they are. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was.
What's a modron? I have
That's
no
amazing,
idea.
and it doesn't specify.
It says chosen by you. It says chosen by the DM.
Says
Okay,
a
give me
modron
one
chosen
more
and
read on
controlled.
that.
A modron chosen and controlled by the DM appears in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you, then disappears after a minute.
10 rounds of Modron
Roll
time.
a d10 for me to determine the type of Modron.
Okay. 4.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I don't even remember which things are within my tokens here, and I am so curious now. I don't have that one currently. I'm just gonna
It
throw
has a really specific thing.
something else in for it instead.
Okay.
All right. There you have it. And it just appears nearby, right? It doesn't know.
Within
5
5 feet of
5
it.
feet from me.
5 feet.
Preferably in between me and the giant spider.
Yeah.
But that's up to you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Ooh. Thank God
Roll
Barry's
another
not
d10.
around.
Actually, yeah. Why not?
Roll what?
Roll another d10.
Okay.
That'll determine.
3.
3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Then that is where it will now appear.
What is it?
So, as this unusual creature now appears beside you, you firing off these missiles. Go ahead and roll damage first.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you fire 3?
3.
Nice.
So 2 to 1, 1 to the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total damage
10 damage.
Wow.
to the pincers.
Okay.
Come on, Tristan.
10 damage to the pincers. That's pretty good. That's surprisingly useful in its own right.
Tristan, his gears turning.
I'm just baffled by the
He's the mode
fact
run
that
right now.
there is this
I don't even know what a mojo is.
unusual creature
Yeah, literally.
that just suddenly appears beside you as you cast this, and this golden cube appears beside you, and you see as just these little wings just pop out at its side and start fluttering. And as the wings flutter,
I want to grab it. I need to grab it.
it's not little as in little, it's
Yeah.
little as in little.
It's a giant snitch.
It's a giant stitch. Do I win the game?
And as you reach your hand out, arms start shooting out from it. And then 2 legs. And then you watch now as from like the top of it, its arm reaches back and it just like pulls forward this almost, it looks like a curved staff for a moment. And as the hand pulls it forward, it just pushes an arm out, and with that a string appears behind this now bow. As you can see now, these eyes appear within this metallic golden cube.
Weird.
Is he bothered by the web?
It is currently flying above the web.
I'm gonna yell at it. Help! Get me out of here! It's gonna kill me. I hate spiders. Please, I can't roll good today.
That stat sheet's got some scary words
This
in it.
is an interesting one. So, this creature just kind of, and its entire body shifts with it as these wings rapidly, and it just turns, and you watch as now looking to you, it just
No, it doesn't.
pulls this bow back,
What?
and
No, don't shoot me.
it just kind of goes back and forth for a moment, trying to determine which it's going to fire on. And as it's going rapidly back and forth,
Oh no.
this creature, you see this little spectacle, we'll say, this monocle, kind of shoot out from its head, and it just drops in front of its eye. As you see now, it closes the other eye, and going back and forth, looking to the two of you guys, he just,
That's a giant spider.
and you can tell that the gears in its head are now whirring as it's trying to figure out which of you could be its enemy. And it largely seems entirely unfazed by your words while pulling back on
Dude,
this
I'm
bow.
purple. When has anything purple ever hurt you?
What?
I have a kid.
And looking now at this spider, you watch as just and plunk, stabbed right into the like thorax of this creature. You just now see this golden arrow with white feathered plumage kind of just sticking out, and it doesn't even like bend. It just and sticks solid, as though even the arrow itself is made of pure metal. And looking at this, you see as the spider now And it starts to kind of move about and clearly changes its focus from Jeff to the two of you guys.
Great,
As
now you made it mad.
it is now going to take its turn.
Am I like downed? Or not downed? Am I
I would like for you to choose odds or evens for yourself.
God, I want to say even, so probably odd.
Odd? Okay, fantastic. Then with its 7, it's going to be attacking you.
Oh no, man! Always stick to your gut. Have you even
Lovely.
seen The Princess Bride?
Lovely. Lovely.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I don't have much health, so this is the end of Cala-Gone, everybody.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
This is a very interesting circumstance here.
Is it?
These are so weird.
That is going to be
Yeah.
20 to
Whimsy,
hit.
that's for sure.
20 to hit? Yeah,
20 to hit.
of course.
I will roll yet again.
The death
I
save?
don't imagine it's looking too good regardless.
Yeah,
but
I don't think
that's
it
okay.
matters.
The D8 was a 1 plus 3. That's 4 points of damage right there. And then we got 2d6 worth of poison damage coming your way still.
Yeah, I think we're good.
That's a 1.
Even if the other one's a 1, I'm dead. I'm downed.
No way.
And that's a 6.
All right.
As now your purple form, you can start to feel as the poison starts setting in and you start dizzying, and in your haze you just see the creature now firing down on this spider, and the spider freaking out and turning its attention, and legs just kind of flailing in the air. It kind of rears back on its hind legs and it starts going after that, and it's hard to see everything that's going on now. As you just kind of looking down, you can see your one arm that you're able to pull up just slightly as the green now starts to course through your veins. And
What's the sand chip up to?
you go
And I
black.
die.
We'll find out later.
So the rest of you guys, luckily are able to find Carlydell nodding off at the front.
That's how we're changing?
And with relative ease, ignoring any sense of
Total change of a vibe.
personage, she instead just, welcome 1 silver per night. Please sign under the door. I'm sorry. And you can tell she is exhausted. Please just leave your money here with me. I'll take care of it. Exact change, please.
Sure. I start. How much is it again?
1 silver. Per
Per room?
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I'm hiding under the
Yes.
front desk.
That's right. That's. And you notice she starts to become more like ladylike again. She, yes. 1 silver.
Sure.
Sorry.
And I toss.
Oh, it's you.
I toss 2 coins her way.
Oh, the first 2 are open actually.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sure thing. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm a little. Forgive me. It's nearing the end of my. Anyway,
It's
not the
okay.
point.
I understand it's
good
been a
night.
long day.
Thank you.
We'll get some rest, and you get some rest yourself.
I will soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Very well.
And you can see that she just kind of slumps back down now, like onto the counter where like her elbows hit the wood, and her chin just kind of rests now between her 2 hands. She's just kind of clearly still nodding off. It's a very familiar sight. You guys know the place. There's nothing special here. You have 3 beds between the 2 rooms. On one side there is only 1 bed. On the other side there are 2. Basic accommodations. There are vials of water now within each room, but nothing further other than a wardrobe.
Do the vials of water, like, get charged to the room service bill, or does that
Are you
come
gonna
with
go
the
out and
price?
ask her?
Oh no.
Actually, before we leave, like when we're in the front desk and she's kind of tired and stuff, can I do something really quick?
Sure.
It's not anything crazy. I'm literally just going to slide my hand on top of the desk when she's talking and not paying attention, and put a tarot potion on the front desk and just scoot it towards her.
Okay. Stealth or sleight of hand check.
Because it doesn't matter. That's 20.
Phenomenal. She just kind of like breezes past everyone and
With a nat 20, can I pour it into her mouth?
It's getting wild. You just kind of slide the taro now her way, and she just kind of fading out. Doesn't even seem to notice it beside her. Not your action, but not even the fact that it exists. And she's clearly none the wiser, as it's just like resting like just below her body practically at this point. And yeah, no, she just starts kind of fading again quickly, as you can tell that you guys like kind of start scurrying past, and she's just trying her best to keep focus ahead, and she's not doing a good job.
Okay.
I just want her to be in a good mood when she sees us the next morning.
Cool. Jean is actually gonna pipe up and say, "Listen, I don't necessarily know about the kid. I don't really have too much preference. I'll stay with the psycho if that's all right.
Psycho. Him?
This fellow.
I can stay with Felgren and Rumgar, I suppose.
Be referred to by name.
Sorry?
I'll be referred to by name. I told you my name, my whole thing. I did my thing. I did my whole thing. How can you not remember?
Right. Biggest name in Laura.
Are you guys still in front of
No,
the
I
desk
got
or no?
nothing.
No, at this
Got
point, I think
nothing.
we're in the rooms, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Just-
inside the room now?
No, sorry.
Got it.
It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just that it's just kind of forgettable. Give me a second. Give me a few. Let me sleep on it.
Ouch.
I might remember come morning.
This is rough.
Oh, this is rough,
I
Manny?
might have to make sure you remember tomorrow.
I said, oh, this is rough. Sorry.
Yeah, give me a reminder at,
It's better than having the
at
name
daybreak.
Canito.
Okay, sounds good.
And just I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Wake me with a song.
Okay. No problem.
Make sure it, if you want to like sprinkle your name in there, or just start with like a like a little song, just like a little ditty about who you are or something. If you have, I don't know, maybe like a song about yourself, that'd be kind of cool. A little weird, I guess, too, but
I've written about myself.
seems fitting.
We've done that yet.
What's that?
No, we'll see. We'll see. Perhaps you'll remember me in the morning.
Yeah, cool.
Is there a reason you wanted to share a room with me?
There are a few. Oh, that face.
That's rough. Oh my god.
So?
Are there two beds in this room?
Yeah. That's. We can take the 2-bedroom. That's great. I definitely don't plan to cuddle with you if that's okay.
Right. What are the... Entertain me. What are the reasons that you chose to room with me?
He just starts walking off towards the room and leaving everyone else behind now. So he does so. He's like, oh, wow, this place is great. And as you're just in tow, he just closes the door behind himself.
This guy's rude. I'm going to open the door. What is your deal?
These guys, it's just the walking, it's kind of loud, I'm just ready to hit the hay.
No, I understand, but...
Okay, so we're good to go to sleep then, right?
Yes,
All right. See you in the morning.
you said... All right.
Good night, Rumi. And you can see as he starts pulling up the sheets, taking off his shoes, just starts kind of like stretching out on the bed. And as you both start resting, you can hear every now and then, and she just, oh yeah, this is great.
Like tucked in bed, just like wide-eyed.
Oh yeah,
So
this is the life.
so annoyed.
Fantastic. Just continually like talking himself to sleep, clearly, loudly, ignoring any other possible life within the room.
Finally, someone who talks more than Rodrick.
On the other end,
Does he fall asleep at any point?
Make a Constitution saving throw, or yeah, make a Constitution check. How about that?
That's 20.
As always, I mean, did you doubt Rodrick? Come on.
I rolled a 19.
So minus 22.
I was kind of hyped.
22.
I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Roll another d20 and just add it to it. How about
You
that?
roll so well, he's
Just
just
'cause
making it hard on you.
The negatives do have a factor, but it's not a big enough factor. I don't think that it'll matter.
30 total.
Ridiculous. You can tell that he's clearly doing this intentionally, and it's a while. And you take it, you normally would have fallen asleep, and just being bothered by his voice as he's continuing on, you can tell he's trying to keep you up, and he just slowly like looks your way, and he just like looks back up. Whew. This is good. Love beds. And eventually, as you're just kind of watching out of the corner of your eye, you can see that he seems to have lulled himself to sleep at some point.
Okay.
Takes a while.
I'm gonna be in my bed, just kind of like talking to myself. He doesn't remember my name. I'll make sure he remembers it. I start looking through my stuff, and I pull out this little vial full of ink. And I'm gonna walk up to him.
No!
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna walk up to him. I'm gonna get like any kind of a small cylindrical object that I can find that I can use to write with. And I'm gonna dip it into the ink. And I'm going to write my name not only across his forehead,
Oh my gosh.
but also on his clothing.
No way.
I'm prepared to roll for it.
Oh no, why did we do this? Why did we let them room together?
By the way, let me explain to you. I think he knows what this is. This is
This guy's sick.
This is ink of staining. It cannot be wiped off or cleaned by normal means, including prestidigitation, mending, or otherwise. Ink of staining can be removed by wish, universal solvents, and similar arcane means.
Where did you get this?
The pettiness of Rodrick Elwood knows no bounds.
Oh my god.
Roll a stealth check at disadvantage because you are touching him while he's asleep and with a pointed object.
No way. Gene, give me help.
When did
My
this
first
even
roll was
come
19.
Oh!
If he doesn't get all the way through and it's just like rod on his forehead, I'm gonna.
Okay. You said stealth?
Yeah.
At disadvantage?
Yep.
17.
Yeah, let's go.
You should have been in the giant spider hole.
Oh no.
I dealt with a spider in the desert. I got away from it, remember?
You got away from a dragon, apparently, too.
Yeah. It's meant to be.
Gene is a handsome man.
Was.
In Rodrick's eyes, I can only imagine he is 10 times more handsome with the beautiful scripted signature of Rodrick Elwood across his forehead.
And while I'm doing this, I'm going to be muttering to myself, let's make you look like where I found you. Like he belongs in a jail cell.
Tat it up. like, what are we doing
This guy's
this
freaking
session,
insane.
guys?
So, Cleave, go ahead and make a survival check for
When
me.
did he get this?
What is wrong?
Where did this happen?
I messed around too much, given the fact that Joel messed around too much, and now David gets to mess around far too much.
You gave me
We
like
made a
the
mistake.
most OP stuff went through April. So.
She's chaotic. I just rolled for it and had a blast.
Wow.
I'd like to think that she's watching over us, just enjoying it.
That's the
Well,
whimsy
no, yeah, you're
right
definitely
there.
the king of the court right now. The court gestures.
Wow.
I rolled a 3. This comes out to 7 though.
Comes out to
But,
7.
but I'm not rolling like David.
No one does. No one does.
Nobody is.
Nick, player of Barry and Barry Alone, could you please make a perception check for me?
After that attitude. Perception check on Barry. Jeez. I'm rolling like I'm dead too. I rolled a 2 and then Barry.
Why? Stop hogging all the good rolls.
Barry.
Fucking nonsense.
So 5 total.
That total. Cool.
I mean,
All right. Joel,
Watch me roll like 4 nat 20s.
you get out, and after a few hours of sniffing around and tracking, you're not able to catch any specific sense back, but you are going in the general direction. You take it, however, that after a good 4 hours, you figure that if you keep going, you're not going to be back by morning.
by that point, then, even though I'm gonna, the whole point was for me to come out here to be helpful in a combat situation. If I'm not gonna find them, I'm gonna have to use my second wild shape. I'm gonna become a direwolf again to try to sniff them out.
Okay. Cool.
Smart.
Then I will allow you, if you're going to just stay out there throughout the whole night, just searching them out.
Yeah, no, I can't.
And
I
just
can't
heading-
let them.
heading back.
Yeah, that's the whole mission is to go out there. I
Make
can't let me
one
be
more,
by myself for
one
2.
more perception check for me,
As
and
a
one
wolf?
more survival as a wolf.
Okay. So perception, I'm gonna do smelling. I get advantage. Yeah. To smell at least.
Specify what you're looking for in that instance.
At least my giant sandwalker trail. Something like that.
Your allies were with you, so you could definitely try to find their trail.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. Go for it. Yeah, with advantage on the perception then.
Wow, they're both 12, which comes out to 14.
14. Okay, cool. And one for survival, please.
10.
10. Okay. It's not bad. As a dire wolf, you're kind of able to sniff about and trying to find a path. It's hard. And trying to find out exactly which direction you guys came from and everything. It gets increasingly difficult the further along you go into the desert. But given the dire wolf's instinct, you figure you've got a pretty good idea of the actual path, but you're not able to find a scent still despite that. So you're able to get to a point where you feel comfortable enough saying okay, this is the general area in which we would have had to have gone through, but it could be off by a whole mile. You really don't know within that track. And with the perception, you are able to note that a few coyotes start appearing over a dune, and as they watch you, you recognize the fact that they all just vanish.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
As night continues on and the moon gets lower and lower again, there is seemingly no sign of your allies yet. And you can feel now the lack of sleep getting to you as obviously you are getting more and more tapped out with each rest.
Yep.
Still.
Oh boy.
Going further out.
Yeah, I just keep going.
Okay.
How far of a travel should it have been if I
I wasn't me? Like, how long would it have taken to just make it from where we started?
So you would have been half speed for yourself, and you are also far slower than a direwolf on your own.
I'm saying, how long would I have expected for them to take the journey? I did my journey in like a day or less or whatever. How long
Make an
should it
intelligence
take
check.
for them? Wow, that one actually came out great. It's a 17.
17. For them, it had taken about a day, depending. But that is given the knowledge that they didn't have a direct path. If they were able to find said direct path, it would have easily been halved from that.
Well, they have Barry, so maybe.
Certainly possible, yeah.
And they had my trail, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I've been traveling for how long tonight?
Probably getting closer to that 8-hour mark now.
Okay. Oh man. I'll travel another hour, and then if I don't see them, I'll just post up to the highest place I can see, and I'll try to just short rest there.
Cool. All right. And you're out of shape changes, right?
Yep.
At this point. All right. Cool. Then, Cleave, out in the middle of the desert, I would like for you to make one more survival and one more perception check.
Here we go. Survival is 17.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Perception is 15.
15.
Hey.
Cool.
Somewhere.
All right.
Too bad.
As you
Now that I'm
start
broke.
walking
Yeah, right.
about, and you start getting towards your last leg of trying towards that perch point, on that last moment, it's only then that as you kind of drag yourself up to the top of a mound, that you kind of start dropping your weight and recognizing there seems to be a trail of smoke in the distance.
Gotta go to it. I'm gonna, as I get closer and closer, I'll be maybe a little stealthy just in case it's just some other band of bandits. But yeah, I'll go towards that.
Okay.
I think that probably is.
Fantastic. Alrighty. Yeah, make a stealth check.
Oh boy. That would be. I knew that was where it was gonna be whack. All right, let's see. That's gonna be a 6.
6. Fantastic.
You roll a 20? It's a 20, of course.
You're
No
lying.
way.
Yeah, of course
Passing
it
it
is.
to me, he rolled a 20.
This guy's got powers all his own.
So powers
He
all
is
in
Rodrick.
David's hands.
It's actually David who's the most
I
powerful.
can't pick it up. It's so weird.
Can we vote that David just rolls for
For
everyone?
everybody. We can't be
insane.
trusted. This
He's
is
like
all should be
all-time
him.
quarterback. He's our all-time
Dude,
quarterback.
talk about the voice of the
insane.
4 horsemen.
So silly.
Okay.
Yeah, no, take it back. You're rolling my next roll, and I'll apply my
Fun
modifiers.
concept. All right, then
see what
David for
happens.
Joel. David as Cleave, since you never got to play as someone else previously. Would you please roll a perception check for me?
Okay, what's your modifier for perception?
Perception's gonna be +2.
It's about to be the worst roll yet.
15.
15. Let's go. Let's go.
Not too bad.
He is Cleave. He is the 4 horsemen.
we is the 4 horsemen.
You can
Can
tell.
we do a re-recording just for next episode when the theme song plays? It's just David.
It's just
we
David.
pull all of our voices out. And it's just I am.
I am the full horseman. Oh, that was a little Cleave. Yeah, that'd be great though.
I am the 4 horsemen.
Oh man. All right. So as you're kind of wandering about, and you see this smokestack, you start to kind of make your way over, and weaving your way between dunes for time, you kind of bob up to towards the top of one, and you're feeling now the exhaustion again kicking in, and you can feel now where your legs are starting to like trip a little bit further on some of the sand as you're trying to climb, and as you're looking around, you get your head just over a dune, where you can see now the scattered remains of this. Honestly, from what it looks like, it immediately, you're probably just thinking like it almost looks like a shipment of sorts. And then you start to see the sails. And you start to recognize, okay, I think I know what that is. And tied to it, you can see now, I'd say probably about 3 dead direwolves.
Wow.
Attached to it and burnt. You can definitely tell where it should have had still quite a bit more than just that, given how long the tether reaching past them still is. And out of the corner of your eye, you recognize that just sniffing around way off in the distance is one lone direwolf.
Oh, blimey.
There are also, as you continue to look on, differences in the smoke where you see some of it looks like white in relation to the blackened smoke elsewhere. As you look on, you recognize someone was caught in this fire. There's definitely a body in there.
So there's like a big bonfire. It's got 3 direwolves and a person.
It's mostly just smoke at this point and embers, but it's got 3 dead direwolves and the body of a humanoid.
So it appears that this whole like sand sailing ship has just like parked and they're camping for the night.
No, it looks exploded.
Oh, the whole
This
thing
is
got
just
wrecked.
shattered remains of what you can piece together to be one of these sand gliders.
Okay, is there anybody walking around?
None that you can see, no.
Shoot, I'm just gonna go try to commandeer that thing. Does it look like it's in any kind of shape that if I use gust, I could?
It is again shattered remains of
the whole
something
thing
that you
is
couldn't
like-
even tell what it was.
Got you.
It's just a heaping mass of wood and fabric.
Yeah.
And you're
Okay.
Not, you're not mending, right?
Nah, that's this guy.
That would be amazing.
Be here
Over
for
like
an hour.
a day, just sit
Forever,
there.
just like. Well, I got a direwolves. I mean, it doesn't seem like our group, but it's good. It would be good to know. Was I aware of the? I wasn't aware at all of the party that was something them, right? That was something just for
Yeah,
him.
no.
It does seem unrelated to any of my thing, but I don't know. I think I'd have to get a closer look just to know.
Okay.
It's 3 dead direwolves and a destroyed sand glider.
Yeah. And a body of a humanoid of some sort.
Yeah.
Plus, I think if
This
my
reminds
scent
me, this
changed,
reminds me
that'd be
of,
good.
of when we encountered the guy that ended up taking you guys all to Grokt.
It's very true. Ah, yeah.
So I think it might be related.
Could be him. That'd be nice. I'm like,
Who?
please be Coltron, please be Coltron, please be Coltron.
Cool. Yeah.
Like in the fire.
So you're just going straight up and checking it out, you said?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be sneaky about it, but it's gonna be a 6 sneaky. But I'm gonna
Cool.
go right up on there trying to just to get some kind of idea of who went down here, and if I can figure out how, that'd probably be good too.
Okay. Make an investigation check then.
Wow, that one went pretty good. Oh wait, but I'm not that smart. But I did roll well, and I meant to make you do it, but it worked. All right, it's an 18 total.
18. You're able to recognize first and foremost that it is an orc that is dead and burnt to a crisp here.
Man, okay.
And as you kind of look about, you can tell that some of the stuff here was foraged, in a sense that people have definitely harvested. They've pulled resources from this to some extent. As you can see, like different handprints between the smoke, and some of it has already been covered by some sands, but there are clear indicators where, like, even the wood, you can tell people have brushed over it and pulled things from it. You can tell where there are slight silhouettes of where items might have previously been in place that were picked back up and taken with them. And as for the explosion itself, it seems to be purely internal, as you can now tell that wood is just fragmented and exploded everywhere in all directions from the direct center of this vehicle.
So does it feel like the bodies were gathered in one place, like as a burial kind of situation, or are they just scattered from the explosion?
Yeah, they're just scattered. You can tell that the direwolves are still held on by the leathered straps.
Okay.
Some of which is definitely like burnt away, or cut even, and they're only still just kind of pulled together like you would expect from like a sled dog pack, and those 3 alone were the ones that are still stuck to it. And so as they're just kind of laid out, you can tell that even with the explosion, that portion was pushed forward, and they were just kind of held taut by whatever leathers were still in place.
Okay.
And so they just didn't go as far.
Very sad for them. All right. In that case, I would like to find something akin to shelter. Is there, like, if I go like into the sand glider, like, is there some place I can get kind of shelter for a sec? I just need 10 minutes to ritual speak with animals.
There definitely isn't any amount of shelter here.
Okay.
You're free to still have a go.
Sure. Yeah. No, I'll just sit kind of on the opposite side of the fire from where the last direwolf I saw was.
Okay, smart. Cool. All right. So then kind of hiding mostly behind like smoke and minor debris.
Yeah.
You're just kind of staying low and ritual casting. And as you do so, you start to recognize the changes in color throughout the sky seem to be indicating that morning is
that long
is upon you. And as you can now start to see the kind of amber color of the horizon start to glow, the pink starts to shoot up, and it almost like a flash, like a spark of light. You see like this beam, this ray of white kind of appear for a moment as you look on, and it just drops back down to this pinkish hue as you can now see the sliver of sun right over the horizon.
Oof.
And
wow.
As you lot wake, you all hear one thing in common back at the inn. Just the pulled shouts of Gene Canito. Come on, you suck! And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
This episode had everything, guys.
Yeah.
This poor guy doesn't even know just yet what has hit him. You would immediately recognize. I'll say this much. He's just looking at the clothing, and he can feel something, but he doesn't quite recognize just how bad it is yet.
No way. No
Rodrick
way.
Elwood, everybody.
Rodrick Elwood just tatted up Gene
Oh,
Canito.
man.
Branded by Rodrick.
Well then, with that being said, we'll see how their new partnership may or may not go, given the fact that they were waiting till morning to make a decision.
That's so wild.
And with the dawn of a new day, we will also see you guys again here back next week with us. We love you. God bless. See you next week.
Won't see me.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's David from Divine Inspiration, and I play Rodrick, the crazy bard that gets into all these shenanigans. And today I wanted to bring your Divine Inspiration based off of a Bible study that my wife and I have been doing of the book of Exodus. Specifically right now, we are reading through the construction of the temple after they already left Egypt, and it explains all the intricate details that God gave to Moses to construct this temple, because it was required that many details because it was, it had to be made holy and be used to worship the one true God. And what I got from all these long passages of intricate details is it correlates to 1 Corinthians 3:16, where it states that we are a temple for God and God resides in us. And we are made with all these little intricate details, just as that temple was. I mean, down to, it was like half inch of like the length of these blocks. We are also made with that level of intricacy because we are made for God to dwell inside, and we are also made as a haven for the worship of God to spill out of. And I just wanted to provide that kind of correlation that I made that I thought was really, really interesting. For those of you that want to read a book like Exodus, and then, you know, you're kind of like barreling through all these passages because it's very long, the description of the temple. But reread it with a new mind and understanding that the same way that he is explaining all the rules for how the temple was built is the same level of intricacy that God took when he was creating you in your mother's womb. And that is today's divine inspiration. Later.